A few days ago, I was goofing off looking for a game to play, so I checked the PlayStation Plus free games for this month and I found an absolute gem. Rollerdrome. Now I have to say, I'm usually not one for indie games or trying new things in general, but after checking out the trailer, I had to give this a shot. Rollerdrome is a third-person action shooter where you rollerblade around various arenas doing tricks, flips, grinds, and shooting different enemies with bullet time. The best way I could describe it is the feeling you get playing Doom or Devil May Cry mixed with Jet Set Radio. The gameplay is really improvisational, so you're constantly moving, dodging, and changing course to weave through the enemy attack patterns and find the best path through the battle arena. You can't really hold a lot of ammo in any of your 4 weapons either, only enough to really kill an enemy or two, and you share ammo between all of them. So no cycling through each of your weapons to maximize ammo conservation. To get by, you need to constantly be switching between your arsenal and performing tricks at the same time to prevail, without running dry. In the early levels of the game, you only have your dual-wield pistols, which is fine because the arenas are simple and there's only 1 to 2 enemy types. These bat-wielding melee enemies, and these snipers. It's honestly impressive just how many different enemies there are. It gets to a point where you can't even rest for a moment, because while one enemy swings at you, another is taking a shot, while 12 rockets flying behind you, while another is dropping a pool of acid on you. It honestly gets pretty ridiculous. All the levels are unique too. Sure, you can say it boils down to indoor rollerblade arena, desert arena, and snow arena, but that's just the backdrops. Every level is uniquely laid out, so unless you're replaying a stage or something, there's not much of a sense of familiarity. You also can't just beat levels to progress the story. You need to master them. Every stage has challenges that you can complete. To move on to the next chapter of the plot, you need to beat a certain number of challenges from the previous levels. It forces you to master certain aspects of the gameplay you've maybe neglected, like using a specific weapon, trick, or even beating a whole level in a single combo. Which isn't a problem, because Rollerdrome's gameplay loop is so addictive and satisfying that you'll want to master it. Earlier, I mentioned there's a story to this game. The beginning of each chapter starts with you in first person, being able to explore a small area, like a locker room or train car. These areas have really cool little lore tidbits like emails, newspaper clippings, or talks in the radio. It's not enough to get in the way though if you're just here for the gameplay. But the story here is actually pretty compelling if you want to take the time to explore between chapters. The basic setup is you're a new rookie competitor for the Rollerdrome in the year 2030, and each chapter of the game has you going through the opening stages, quarters, semis, and the final respectively. As you can probably guess, the final is the hardest stage in the game, requiring all your skills and know-how to overcome the onslaught of enemies the game throws at you. After beating the first stage of standard enemies, you need to fight a humongous spider tank boss to win the final. Once you beat that though, you head back to the locker room, you see the smashed helmet of your rival, and the trophy for the Rollerdrome Championship. So you're done, right? You won the championship, overcame all the odds stacked against you, and got the big beautiful trophy. But no, you're not done. As you can see, there's a new option on the home screen called Out for Blood, which is not only New Game Plus, but also an epilogue to the story. Now every enemy will be a part of all the stages from the very beginning. They also do 50% more damage. Not that that matters because you'll have all your weapons from the very beginning, and there's a new remix soundtrack. Pretty damn cool if you ask me. Now I also mentioned it's an epilogue to the story, which it is. You are now the returning champion of the Rollerdrome here to win for the 2nd year in a row, with the sport upping the risks factor this year for more views, which is a really neat way to explain the spike in difficulty for New Game Plus. Speaking of the spike in difficulty, holy shit dude, New Game Plus is hard. I mean, it's obviously extremely fun as well. I enjoy the added challenge, but it's also very, very hard. I barely got to the 4th level before I was consistently getting stomped by the game. Unfortunately, there's no more story content beyond the base game and that little tidbit at the beginning of New Game Plus, but I'm still happy they added this regardless. Overall, Rollerdrome was a really surprising banger of a game that I'm happy to say I got for free. I don't know if it'll still be by the time this video comes out, but I still obviously highly recommend it. Even if it isn't, the game's usually only $30, so come on man, go ahead and get yourself some Rollerdrome. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a absolutely fantastic rest of your morning, afternoon, or night, and I don't know how to end these.